Welcome back to another post-game episode, Week 16 recap. We're here celebrating another Victory Monday. Chargers got a big win on the road in Dallas, 34-17 over the Cowboys. Towards the end of the game, Justin, I'm not gonna lie, they were handing out towels. I took that towel and started beating that seat up. I was
hmm
telling Dallas after we got that last touchdown by Amari, I said, move that hand. But I just want to know how you feeling after that win yesterday. Happy Victory Monday, bro.
Hey man, B2A, man. That's what all it was, man. I text so my brother, my oldest brother, he's a Cowboys fan. My dad's a Cowboys fan.
Ooh.
I didn't take my dad all game. I just messaged him afterwards. But my brother actually hit me up at half and was like, "Man, are either one of these teams gonna play some defense?" And I said, I don't know, man. I already knew Dallas's offense was going to be. I mean, Dallas's offense, they got a really good offense, man. Like they
Yeah.
really do. Their O line is really good, even though they were missing like a player or two. O line is still really good. We were only able to get Dak on the floor once, for a sack. But man, I'm excited, man. Super big game, man. We pitched the second half shutout. Like
Yep.
as after not being able to get many stops like in the first half, like that was tremendous. But that goes to show you that mentor defense, making those second half adjustments.
Yep.
Super stoked, man. 11-4 is huge. Just pulled up something. I mean, we got 99.5% chance of making the playoffs now. So we're not
Yeah.
100% stamped, but it's like, man, you really can't mess this up. Now we can. And the team's gonna need a lot of help from other different teams to make that happen, but I don't think it's happening because I don't think we're done winning yet. So super happy, super excited, man. How about you?
Man, it was obviously I was there, so it was a great time, good environment, good atmosphere. I was a little disappointed though, I'm not gonna lie, because there's some people behind me that asked me to sit down during one of the plays, and I'm like, I'm at a football game. It's third down. I'm up on my feet. But I was in a great section, great seats with my brothers. We enjoyed our time. Um, so yeah, I was just super happy to see that performance and see the Chargers come out and handle business. Like you mentioned, that first half. So I rewatched it today on my flight home and then on my day off here back at the house. And I was rewatching that first half and it was like, man, it was back and forth, right? Matching touchdowns. We held them to a
hmm
field goal, so then we were able to take the lead. And then it really changed when we held the ball the last 8 minutes basically with a long scoring drive and then
Yep.
doubled up in the second half. So that was a pretty good way for us to finish the half and then come back with the ball in the second half. Because like you mentioned, they were kind of aggressive early, and it really
hmm
was more of the I think credit to the Cowboys. They found a matchup they liked, which was one-on-ones with Cam Hart,
Yeah.
because he was kind of getting attacked by mainly George Pickens.
Pickens.
And those guys, they're tough. We mentioned it on the preview. Those are two
Yeah.
legit wide receiver ones. George Pickens is a beast, and he made
Yeah.
some plays. Like the first possession they scored on was a 4th and 2 where they threw a back shoulder 25 yards down the field because they found that one-on-one.
Yep.
The deep touchdown on the left side was to George Pickens, found the one-on-one. But
hmm
Herbert had a match every time. Quentin Johnson was
Every
open
time.
and available. Lad, easy money. I just really loved that game yesterday. I think Roman really got back in his bag, and I think more than anything, what I noticed yesterday, which bodes really well for us heading into the stretch run, is I think Justin looks all the way back. Taking off to run, we were doing the tush push again, which shows you that he's more comfortable like taking contact to the hand or putting himself in
Yep.
situations that the last 2 weeks he wasn't able to do. So,
hmm
man, we talked about a get right game, and it really was 300 yards for Herbert, 342 total yards,
Yep.
79.3 completion percentage, three total touchdowns. He just did a little bit of everything. 42 rush yards after not really scrambling the last few weeks. I think was pretty big time. And we talked about the tush push for the touchdown. Like really cool to see him doing that. So, what stood out for you while you were watching yesterday?
No, man, Herbert looked elite, man. And I'm talking about just like this things that we see all the time. I don't think that we ever are gonna question how elite he is. But when you look at just like the way he maneuvers the pocket, like it's just I've seen like bunches like during like previous years, like seen him do it in certain games, and it's hard. It's hard to maneuver a pocket when you're getting pressure all the time. But I don't know. It's something about this year, something about maybe his mindset or something that just like he maneuvers it, but it doesn't allow and like shake him. Like I
Yeah.
felt like previous years, he would get that pressure, and it was like I almost like I knew he was probably getting sacked. I'm like, he's probably not gonna be able to shake this. He's big, he's strong, but it's something about that maneuverability this year
Yeah.
where it's like it's a quick little step this way, quick little step this way, quick little step up, still eyes downfield. Like I don't know, it's something different this year, man. And I don't know, maybe it's because of the O line. There's so many issues that he's just like he knows like all right, it's on me. Like I got to make sure I'm not getting sacked because my O line really can't. They're not protecting me. And
Yeah.
the O line is trying the best as best they can, piecing together what we got, but. I don't know, man, because like I've seen so many plays where it's not a quick, three-step drop, up, pitch and catch. No, it's a three-step drop, oh, gotta shift this way, oh, gotta step this way, run this way a little bit, eyes downfield, 40-yard bomb. Like
Yeah.
he's looking really good. And yeah, I know Dallas' defense is bad, but there's not a lot of QBs who's doing stuff like that where they're keeping their eyes downfield to the level that he is and
Yeah.
also being as accurate and doing the things that he's doing, man. Like it's insane the things that I be hearing about him. And people still don't think that he's elite. It doesn't make any sense for us to be able to drive as many times as we did, score. What did we punt one time? I think we punted one time. Like come on, man. Like that man's elite. Like I said, I know Dallas' defense is terrible, but and not to get on my soapbox about Herbert because that's my guy, but our defense, man, second half shutout. I
Again,
already like you
2 games in a
said,
row.
we already talked about it. We know that offense is elite, but to shut them out in the second half, that's big time. That's big props
Absolutely.
to Minner. Big props to all those guys on defense. They came out. They was physical. They was getting after him, and they didn't get Dak on the ground a lot, only once. But they made it tough on him. They pressured him a lot. They forced him into some bad throws. So props to the defense, man, for sure.
Absolutely, man. Big time performance from the defense. I think we've talked about it, and I think it's a big key now. A lot of people that watch the Chargers should know that our pass defense is great. So finding a way to tweak what we were doing and not
Hmm.
giving Dak the same looks in that second half, and to be able to slow him down and finally get some stops was amazing. And it all starts with our run defense, right? I've mentioned it before. If we're able to stop the run and we make it super tough on these quarterbacks to pass and these offensive coordinators to scheme up plays against this pass defense. And if you look at the Cowboys yesterday, you take off a couple scrambles from Dak and Joe Milton, they ran 20 times for 70 yards. I mean, that's not getting the job done on the ground.
No.
You compare it to the Chargers, we ran it 33 times for 152 yards.
Yep.
And then if you take away Herbert's scrambles, we're still over 100 with just our backs.
Hmm.
Amarian came out there, had a really good game. Amarian's been running great, man. He's over 5 yards a carry yesterday,
Yep.
18-yard long, but he had a couple that he just broke off. He had another one that got called back for a terrible holding call on Penny.
Yeah.
He beasted the guy, and like Harbaugh said, he blocked him so good that they called a hold.
Hmm.
Because that was a bad call. I even looked back on the film today and didn't like that call, but
No.
um, we forced a turnover on the last possession with that punch out by Derwin, but we didn't really get takeaways in the game, so we ended up it was really just sound defense in that second half to figure out
Yeah.
a way just to get those couple stops and get those guys off the field and get the ball back to our offense. And our offense controlled the game yesterday, so it was really just a really beautiful thing to see. And I think we're rolling 7 of our last 8, and people still aren't really giving us the credit. I don't watch a ton of like ESPN media anymore, but they kind of drive the narrative when it comes to NFL these days, right? And
Hmm.
a lot of the talk today was about the Steelers win, right? Jags win, which Jags credit to
Jags.
them, big win. We'll circle back on that because it has implications for us these next couple of weeks. But nobody was really talking about how we're right there, and we control our destiny with 2 weeks left.
Yep.
I'm going to circle back on it right now and just toss it to you again. But if we went out and we beat Denver in the last week and we take care of business against Houston this Saturday, we are the AFC West champs, and
Hmm.
possibly the 1 seed, depending on what the Jags do,
Yep.
because that'd be the only team we'd be tied with, and then it'd come down to that head to head.
Which they
Um,
got. Yep.
if they slip up one of these last two, because they still got to see the Colts, who are fighting and scraping for everything, Phil's battling right now. Um, yeah, I just want to get your thoughts on these next couple of weeks. Like, what do you see us? How do you feel about the opportunity to get this division after everything we've been through?
I mean, I think we got a huge chance, man. We got a huge shot at it, man. I don't think any of these teams. I mean, look, you just saw the Texans beat the Raiders 23-21. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying yesterday. Like, does that game to me, or the question I have to, and not that I'm actually asking you because I know your answer, but like, does a 23-21 win over the Raiders put any fear in your heart? No. Like, yeah, their defense, the Texans got a really good defense. Texans defense just got kind of exposed a little bit by the Raiders. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not worried about the Texans defense. I'm not worried about their offense. That's a winnable game. I mean, nobody thought we could beat the Eagles. Nobody thought we could beat the Chiefs or the Dallas. I mean, and we're beating all these teams because we got 10. We got a tremendous defense. So I'm not worried about any of those games. I mean, like you said, we control our destiny. And obviously, if we win out, AFC West champs, potential for the one seed if the Jags, slip up. But
Home
that would be
playoff game.
amazing, if the Jags were to slip up, have that one seed. It'd be something that like you look at and it's like, man, like you said, to overcome everything, both of our, all pro level tackles out, to have all the running back injuries all throughout the year. Then you have 10, broken hand. Then the defensive players in and out. Mac missing 4 games. It's like,
Yeah,
man, these guys weathered all of that. They're the one seed. Like,
that'd be incredible.
what's the man? Herbert better get if you don't got some MVP votes. I'm looking at somebody like, yo, how?
Yeah. And he's
How?
still not being mentioned either, especially like I thought he'd at least get mentioned with some of the performances from yesterday, and that none of that even popped up. Like I think
A lot
Stafford
of
probably
hate.
has it on lock. He's the favorite right now, but after
Yeah.
Stafford, it should be Herbert. If you look at these records and what he's doing with this team, it should easily be Herbert. You can argue Trevor Lawrence right now, Drake May. I understand those ones, but like that's the
Yeah, they
three
love May.
outside of Stafford.
Yeah, they love May. And I like Drake May too, man. I think he's really good, but you do got to factor in strength of schedule, man. They've played the easiest schedule all year long. And like I said, the guys out there doing some really good stuff. I mean, he orchestrated a comeback yesterday against the Ravens. But the Ravens ain't that good either. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And then it was the Ravens that Lamar went down in the first quarter.
yeah.
So when you look at that, it's like, okay, you beat a Tyler Huntley led Ravens team, which Huntley played pretty well, but like it's not Lamar. So I don't know, man. Like I said, I like Drake May a lot. I like a lot of those guys. But for Herbert not to get any love, not to get mentioned at all, we're 11-4, all the injuries, everything that he's had to or we've had to overcome. And the thing that it kills me too, because you never can get full compliments or full
Yeah.
like salute. Like it's always, oh man, yeah, they look good. So guess what? I don't want to hear about no O-line problems. I'm like, okay, so when we lose due to the O-line, you don't want to hear anything about it because now we're winning even though we have a bad O-line. It's like that doesn't make any sense to me. I'm like, I guess only the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes can talk about having bad O-line or O-line issues because everybody always talks about, oh man, they didn't have their tackles and
Right.
like,
It's just because we're good enough to overcome it doesn't mean it's still not a shortcoming of the team. Like we're legit, like factually, statistically rated as the worst O line in the league. It's been like that since probably like week 4 when Alt first went down and everybody's been
yeah,
coming out. Like how, bro, Bobby Hart has probably been our most dependable tackle outside of all year. Like what is going on? Like and not even maybe just tackle, maybe most dependable O lineman period.
for real though,
Since he's been in the lineup, like that's crazy. Because
a
if you
guy
see
off
his
the
film,
street,
seeing his film before this year too. This guy,
bad,
man.
like,
So it's just, I just think, I'm okay with sliding under the radar still because at the end of the day, they're gonna have to see us,
yeah,
and I would love for us to run the table and get a home playoff game, regardless if we're the one seed or not. I think one seed is going to be a huge advantage for anybody in the AFC because I do agree with everybody saying I don't agree with they saying it's a flawed year in the AFC, but it is wide
mhm,
open to where like matchups are gonna change and impact a lot. Like going
yeah.
to somebody's house to play in the playoffs or who are you matched up with in the first round like can have a big impact. So if we're able to sneak in and get a home game in SoFi, oof, that'd be amazing. So
Ooh,
plenty to talk about and get to that preview this upcoming week. So stay tuned for that. But let's finish off this recap of this past game. Just a quick, we're gonna run through our bowl standard bets.
yes, sir.
4 or 6 for the bowl standard this weekend.
Ah, man,
Uh, 3 for 3 over here for me, 1 for 3 for Justin. But you were on the right track. It's just everybody was open at he went to the outside and hey, Q showed up at home. I mean I guess neither of us mentioned it, but a homecoming game maybe should have played a factor in some of these
yeah,
picks because he was balling. The
he
one-handed
was
catch to
killing,
start the day, another contested
beautiful.
deep one, like over the middle crossers. But
Yeah, he
yeah,
was
so
snagging everything. He was snagging everything. He looked really good. Trey Harris was out there balling, man. Boys was out there balling, man. Everybody was out there putting in work,
yeah, but those
except OG. except
Yeah,
OG, man. But that's my dog, man. It's not his fault, like you said. It was everybody was open, man.
yeah.
Everybody was open. Disley was eating.
Yeah,
Everybody
Disley
was
was back
eating.
in the mix. Yeah, it's good to see Disley back doing his thing because I like Disley when he's in the action because he
Oh,
blocks
for
well and
sure.
he gets those catches because nobody thinks that
No,
guy's gonna go out for a route. So,
nope.
um, but yeah, our bolt the door lock of the week hit. Omarion hit right at the start of the second half, so that was pretty much a no sweat. And then yours +2.5, no sweat at all.
I
Like
told you too.
great call.
I told you too on that Omari, and I was like, yeah, that's probably a first half prop right there, man. He was just at it.
He was at
Um,
48 at halftime, and I'm like, okay, I'm waiting for one carry, and then like
ex-
first drive of the second half, it hit, and I'm high fiving my brothers. Boom, boom. They're like,
exactly. I'm like, yeah, that
yard
might be
gain.
a
I'm
first
like,
half on
not
him
for
right
you.
there.
That was a hit for me, not a t
Facts.
And then so I had the team total over 23 and a half. Obviously, we scored 34, so
Smashed
that was
it.
a no sweat. We basically almost had that at halftime too.
Hmm.
And then my every time touchdown on Marion got me at the end of the game, thankfully, because I was hoping that we got it at the half, but we
Uh-huh.
didn't push, which was cool. Great play call. That's easy money if we're gonna give it to. Like I didn't know we had that back in the arsenal again, so I'm
Facts.
happy to see that.
Hmm.
But Omarion got me that one at the end. I got it on film and everything, so I was lit. You know, I throw it
Yeah,
up
that
on
was
the
nice.
TikTok channel if you guys haven't seen it. So I'm gonna get some more content from the game because man, shout out to my brother Donovan hooked us up and we were in the Hall of Fame level seats. So
Mm.
we were down in the hundreds, about 10 rows up from the 15-yard line, and then shout out to my brother Dallas and his connections, and shout out to Nico Reed, even though he was inactive. The family showed us love. Khalil, Don, they were out there, and so we were up in the Reed family suite for
Mm.
most of the second quarter and halftime. So that was pretty sweet too. So definitely was a great experience at Cowboys Stadium. Felt good to go 3 for 3 and 4 for 6 because the one that you hit was the most important one anyway. So,
That
um,
multi-door lock, gotta
you
hit
know,
those.
keep following us. If you follow anything, follow those locks. 2 for 2 this week. So, we're gonna finish off here of this recap with our supercharger of the week. Yeah. So, Justin, who was your supercharger of the week? I'm gonna throw it to you.
Man, my supercharger of the week. Ah, so
Go
I
ahead and do
think
it. Go ahead and do it.
nah, because I want to go QJ, man, but I'm gonna give it to somebody who I feel like he he wasn't the best player or like, but I'm giving it to Trey Harris. The reason why is
I love
because
Trey.
I've seen somebody who's just like every week, man, he's been steady. He's been steady, he's been consistent, he's doing what he's been asked to do. And a lot of it's been like blocking assignments, you know what I'm saying? Being
Yeah.
as a puller, and he's been doing a tremendous job of it. But whenever you get him in his spots where he's targeted, he's coming up with those catches, man. He had I think I think it was one drop he did that last week. I think it was his first drop of the year.
It was his first
They
drop.
said,
Yep.
yeah. So like, man, to me, that is someone who like, and I'm looking at the way he moves too. And I think I talked about this like early on, and he was actually hurt during coming up to the combine, but he ran like a 4.54 40. And even Ortiz said it in the draft. He was like, hey, when he was on the phone with him, he was like, listen, man, he was so excited to get you. He's like, man, you play way faster than that 40 time. Like he was hurt during that fight. So like when I see Trey moving, I'm like,
Yeah.
man, this guy looks like someone who could be like a real deal like receiver. But just got to get him more involved. He's a
Yeah.
rookie, got a lot of guys in front of him. His time's gonna come, but he looks so good out there, man. I just love seeing him in all the different ways that we use him too, because he's out there a lot. So it just seeing that from a rookie and all the other rookies that we have on the team and they're making these big impacts. I just love that. I love that. Not to take away from QJ because he had a huge game, man, and big
Yeah.
shout out to QJ. But I just love what I'm seeing from Trey Harris, and it's just weekly. It's every week. That man is just consistent.
Yeah, he's 100% gotten better every week, and I'm with you on the fact that when I talk about Trey, it's so hard for me. Like one of the first things I say every time, and then my brother Donovan does the same thing. Like, man, I'm just so excited for his future because it keeps getting better every week, and I feel like next year he's going to take off because like it took up until we're at week 16 now. The last few weeks you've seen more and more snaps, more and more targets, more and more comfortability with 10, to the fact where like. You mentioned how good he is as a blocker. If you go back and look at a lot of our big runs this year, that Vidal one against the Raiders sticks out because it's one of the most
Mhm.
recent. He's on the field for those, and he's either the pulling lead blocker or he's doing something on the outside to seal an edge or just downfield blocking. And so,
Yeah.
um, and that's something that I did not know because at Ole Miss, they're like run and shoot offense, Lane Kiffin offense. You
Hmm.
don't see the run blocking that much. You're focused on, how Jackson Dart was getting him the ball down the field, and he was a possession guy. So he's coming across, screaming across on these slants and taking it, yards after catch. So, um, I was super happy that we picked him in the second round. And now to see this side of him come out with this offense and this development with Harbaugh and Ortiz, yeah, I'm super happy that Nine's on our team, and I think he has a bright future and hopefully can make an impact the rest of this year because he plays a great role now, especially like you mentioned with the run blocking. So I thought you were going to go with the obvious one of Herbert. Um, I kind of want to do that. So, but I'm also going to go to the offensive line because no sacks allowed. That's incredible job by them. Even though you, like we said, the Cowboys aren't much, but no sacks allowed is a great job. So, um, Trey Harris, offensive line, Justin Herbert, QJ. We could go with anybody, right? We could go with the whole defense for the shutout. So a lot of options, but we're gonna get up out of here, man. That this Week 16 recap. Stay tuned for the preview for Week 17. Huge game against the Texans coming up on Saturday. So we'll have the preview for you guys on Friday. So stay tuned for that on the channels. Till Friday, bolt up.